On this episode of System Integrators Weekly, lies, misdirection, and a straight up slap in the face to all the people they've taken advantage of. And that's Apex apologizing. We'll talk about that and more in this episode of SI Weekly.
Let's go, nerds!
Hello everyone, I'm Brea Thorne. Welcome to SI Weekly, and yes, we're doing it again. We are talking about Apex Gaming PCs again, and I don't enjoy it. I don't like having negative videos, although they do tend to bring in new audience members. So if you're new here and you're, wait, this guy's going to talk about where I shouldn't buy pre-built, I want to hear this. My name is Brea Thorne, and I help people find the right pre-built PC for them. I basically look at system integrators all across the industry, from boutique builders all the way up to the high volume system integrators like your iBuyPowers and whatnot. So most of my videos are generally positive, and there's a lot of great system integrators out there. So when I tell you why you shouldn't buy from one SI, that's no cause to go into the comments and say, that's why I build all my PCs and everyone should build their own PCs. Now, 70%, 75% of PC hardware sold per year, more or less, is through pre-builts. People are going to buy pre-builts. So that's why my channel is dedicated to finding all the good SIs out there, seeing what their benefits are, and where their strengths and weaknesses are, so you can decide which one's right for you, and also finding the ones that are not good, that have all of the red flags, and pointing them out as well. And I've done that twice now with Apex Gaming PCs. And now, well, they responded, and they've also changed things. So instead of, I'm going to try not to get too emotional on this, get too out of sorts, but there are problems with both of those things, their response and what they've changed. And we're going to talk about that after I let you know this video is sponsored by VIP CDK Deals.
The best place to go when you want to get yourself an OEM Windows license to get rid of that annoying watermark and unlock all the customization Windows has to offer. So instead of paying well over $100 for a retail version of Windows, you can get an OEM key for a fraction of the price. Plus, you can use my code BREA25 to get a nice fat discount off of the already discounted price. Keep in mind that this is an OEM key that gets attached to this system and cannot be used with another one or if you change your hardware. Make sure you get the right key for your operating system. For more information on how to use CDK Deals, click the link in the description saying here's how it works, and I'll walk you through the whole thing. Thank you, CDK Deals, for continuing to support the channel.
Now, a couple of quick disclaimers, though these are a little different whenever it's a video like this one. First off, this video is being recorded for the week of Monday, March 4th, 2024. Any pricing and availability that you see here should be of no interest to you because you shouldn't buy from this website. Aside from that, pricing and availability changes fairly quickly in this industry. So, take that with a grain of salt. The next thing is, I have opinions. I don't claim to be a journalist. I don't claim to be a tech journalist. I might do a piece now and then that is journalistic in nature, and I'll approach that differently. But SI Weekly is me reacting to system integrators, what they're doing, sharing my thoughts on specs and hardware and pricing and all that stuff. So that's gonna have opinions in it. And whenever it's a video like this, there's also hyperbole galore. All the things that I say are not literal whenever I'm exaggerating, which should be fairly clear whenever that's the case. But I gotta tell you, I'm not the only one with this opinion. If you go and look through the comments on both of my previous videos on Apex Gaming PCs, there are lots of stories to be told. In the last video that was a month ago, I actually went through some of the comments that were posted on my 9 months ago video, and they were jarring. They were just horror stories. The kind of thing that people who are against pre-builts will tell you might happen to you. They're talking about Apex, okay? That's the pre-built company they're talking about. It's Apex. I don't want to look at a company that's taking my feedback and changing and completely write that off. I want to give credit where credit is due, and we'll do that wherever it's valid. The next thing, this is not financial advice. I will give you a heads up that you probably shouldn't buy from them, but it's not like official financial advice. And the last thing is, It's for those of you who are on the fence about going DIY or going pre-built. If you just want to buy pre-built, there's plenty of y'all out there, and I totally get that. Cuddles and I, Cuddles the editor, and I, we have worked for a couple of years now on this show so that we can help y'all figure out the options that are out there so you can decide what's right for you. So the reason we're here talking about Apex again is because when I posted the first video 9 months ago, they barely responded, but that video was in response to them reaching out to me and saying, hey, we like your channel. You talk about pre-built PCs. We make those. We want to pay you money to say good things about us. And I had to stop them and say, no, that's not how this works. I don't accept sponsorship from system integrators for System Integrators Weekly. That's a conflict of interest. I'll take a look at your site. I'll take a look at what you guys do. I'm excited to see it. And I genuinely was. It's another option for people looking to buy pre-builts, and if it's a good option, I would love to involve them in the discussion. You can watch that video from 9 months ago. I'll link it right here, and watch me catch red flag after red flag after red flag, and just my mood just sinks throughout the video. And it's a study in watching someone's hopes get crushed. I told them afterwards, right after I filmed it, once we were editing it, I was like, that didn't go well. There were issues and blah, blah, blah. And they were like, oh, well, okay. And then the video came out and I never heard from them again. Now, this one might go on a little bit because I want to cover everything. I don't really want to talk about them anymore. I want to be done with this because there are reasons for that. Let me show you what I'm talking about when it comes to the comment. They commented this on February 7th. Okay, video was posted, I believe, on February 6th. There's the comment right there. And it's a little hard to read right here. So I have a better view of it, but I want to show you something though. I want to show you, for some reason, that comment is no longer under the video here. It's no longer in the comment section for this video. You can scroll through, look for Apex Gaming PCs 1483. That's their YouTube account. It's just not here anymore. So what I'm thinking, and this is not something I was sure of before, and I'm not quite sure now, I'm thinking that as the owner of the YouTube channel, if someone comments and then deletes that comment, I can still, here, I'll just go all the way through so you don't see that logo anywhere. There, we haven't seen that logo anywhere. And here's a logo here, right? The little icon. So I believe if you delete your comment, it's still visible in the dashboard right here. I mean, it's right here. It's still there. Shows 3 weeks ago. There you go. I did react to this on stream as soon as I found out about it. It was a few days after they'd posted it. And my reaction, I guess things were still fresh for me, was, to be fair, it was unfavorable to them. And we'll go over why. We'll talk about why that is, okay? I wasn't kidding. I wasn't trying to get, sink the hook in the first few seconds of this video when I said there were straight up lies, misdirections, and a slap in the face to the people they've taken advantage of in this comment and on their site now. Like it's out there. So it says, Dear Braithorn and the larger community, I'm gonna try not to stop too much here. We want to first and foremost thank you for taking the time to provide us with this feedback. We wholeheartedly understand that Apex Gaming PCs has several areas it needs to improve now and in the future. How about in the past? Because a lot of the stuff I talked about was in the past, in the video 9 months ago. You had a lot of time to react to that and fix things, but sure, okay. We are already working on making changes to products, pricing, and photographs on the website. Now you might be like, photographs? What's that about? Well, I'll show you. And this right here, this was three weeks ago, right? 3 weeks. Yeah, the photos thing they're talking about is this. So when you see this picture, you might think, and reasonably so, that this picture is a picture of one of these same-day ship PCs. I mean, this is ready to ship. That's what that means. That these are built, they have a bunch of them, they ship them out same day if you order them before 11 a.m. of that day. They'll ship them out that day. That means they have to have it ready. So you would think it'd be pretty easy to set one on a table and take a picture of it, right? Maybe even a nice picture. Well, they didn't do that. This picture, if you see right here where it says Manic, this picture is from Manic's website, the case manufacturer. Now it's a little complicated because if I'm not mistaken, Manic, the case manufacturer, the case company rather, is owned by like Apex Technologies or something. So like they might be a sister company, but the point stands. What you see here does not match the build here. Okay. In a lot of cases. Okay. Maybe this one is the exception. Like for instance, let's look at this one right here. Right. Okay, this one says that it has for the CPU cooler an Apex 240mm AIO. This is a 360mm AIO. It doesn't match. This, if you go to Manic's website, is their picture of the Manic Phantom 2 case. All right, that's what this is. That's what this picture is. Identical. It's the actual picture. They're not using Lee & Lee Unifan Infinity fans here. They're not using that. Okay, as a matter of fact, for your $1,700, you're not even getting PWM fans. Okay, that's just besides the point. We'll get back to these. Updated photo pending. Okay, they put this up there after the video launched because my criticism was, hey, this doesn't match what's here. This doesn't match the parts. They don't match at all. What's the deal there? And as a matter of fact, I had a much more significant criticism for an entire section of the website that they deleted after I released the video. Yes, they removed a whole section of the website. We will get into that. Apex, how long does it take? If this is a same-day ship system, why can't you take one out of the box and take a picture of it? You should have several available. This doesn't say that you're out of stock. This says you can add it to the cart and buy it. And you, if it was before 11 a.m., would have to ship it out same day. That means you have them ready. Let's be fair. How are there dozens of these? Would it take 3 weeks to take pictures of them? No, there's 8. There are 8 of them. That's it. Right off the bat, they're already working on making changes to photographs on the website. I mean, I'm guessing they might have meant the horrific AI imagery they used to use on their front page. I still get a kick out of that. It's more of a disbelief thing than humor, honestly. But they might have meant that. We do, however, want to take the time to address 3 major areas of concern. On a few occasions, concerns have been raised that we sell used PC parts in new PC builds. We are unsure if these concerns are being raised due to the complicated nature of our refurbished PC line. Yeah? Is it too much for my smooth brain? Is that what it is? I mean, so complicated. I'll show you guys exactly what they mean and just how complicated that nature is. Definitely not spelled out in like a single sentence, for sure. Which we have since removed from our website entirely. We'll see the reason exactly why in the next sentence, why they removed that whole section. Nevertheless, we want to ensure the community and our customers that all of the parts we sell in our PCs are always new. Yeah. Hang on though. About that. This comment was under this video where I showed the part of the website that specifically states all refurbished builds are priced using only used motherboards, CPUs, and GPUs. All remaining hardware is new. Customers save roughly $300 to $500 over new PC prices. Right, yes. However, all of their refurbished PCs had used motherboards, CPUs, and GPUs stated on their website. In the video, they commented on saying, we always use new parts. How do you justify just saying that? How do you do that? With a straight face. I don't get it. I don't get how you can just like state such a bold-faced lie. Now, you could say from here on out, we'll only use new parts. Sure. That would be commendable and also normal. By the way, it would be normal to do that. This was not normal. I had to clarify to Apex that this is not what refurbished means. Building a new PC and stuffing a used motherboard, CPU, and GPU does not mean refurbished, okay? That's a new PC with used core components. That's what that is. A refurbished PC is an entire unit that is used that you recondition. replacing any parts that need replacing, getting it into good working order and a good state of cleanliness, and then selling it at a vastly reduced price because it's not new. None of it is. It's a refurbished PC. If you're calling these refurbished, you can't use these pictures because these pictures do not reflect any of the components. It does not look like a refurbished PC, and it's the same picture. Like you're just selling them repeatedly. How are you doing that if they're refurbished? A refurbished thing is like, we bought this one and we're going to flip it. Here you go. So their explanation was this. Apex Gaming PCs uses standard photographs for all Apex builds due to all externally facing parts, excluding the GPU and motherboard, being brand new. PC appearance will vary based on options. There were no options for these. I told them to put that under every picture because that's what you do. That's what most system integrators do, with few exceptions, like Apex and like Exotic PCs doesn't do that. They're going to get their own whole video too. They need one. Yeah, as such, the PC will arrive appearing identical to a brand new gaming PC. We fooled you. Yay us. I can't imagine they just like skimmed through my video, okay? You want to hear the criticism. You want to know what you're responding to, right? Who in their right mind decided that they should say all of the parts we sell on our PCs are always new? That's a bold-faced lie. So there you go. The intro was not just a hook. That's just a straight up lie. It's a straight up fallacy. And now, sure, maybe they're all new, but I have no idea whether we can trust them or not. No idea. Then they go on to talk about something that I didn't even know about or mention, where they're talking about how they had a situation in early 2023 where they bought a number of Paladin GPUs through a third-party reseller, then shipped by Newegg, apparently. It's sold to us as new and shipped through Newegg. They're not saying sold by Newegg. So they went to a third-party retailer on Newegg, bought a bunch of GPUs, and then they were determined to be used GPUs. According to them, they immediately informed all customers that may have been affected within 72 hours of the discovery and provided multiple options to replace those GPUs. It sounds like they really feel that selling PCs to customers with used components is really serious, and they would definitely never do that. No, not them. They would definitely never, ever do that. Oh no, not Apex. We understand the risk we took on a little-known GPU manufacturer in 2023 was a mistake. But as a growing company, they like to mention that. We also understand the need to support new companies in the computer hardware industry. Rest assured that mistake will not be repeated. Listen, I talk to growing system integrators, the ones that are doing it right. You know what they do? They go with reputable, well-established AIBs and part manufacturers. Do you know why? They can't absorb the cost if they can't get an RMA. They're small companies that are trying to grow. You went the opposite direction and you paid the price because somebody wanted to save a buck. And boy, oh boy, are we going to see a theme here. We also understand that our order lead times have been terrible for most of 2022 and 2023. So just generally speaking, they're just saying, not specifically, our order lead times, so just all of them, for most of 2022 and 2023 were terrible. And when they say lead times, they mean how long it takes to get the PC after you ordered it. And if you watched the video from a month ago, there were people who bought a PC and with their special $150 extra 48-hour shipping, okay? And 2 months later, they hadn't gotten it yet. Another person had purchased a ready-to-ship system, and like months later, they're like, yeah, they're telling me they're still waiting on the parts, and just denying refunds. I've seen tons of comments of people who are like, I can't cancel my order. So they just, no, you gave us your money. That's it. There is no excuse for this. Agreed. We finally agree on something. And we are genuinely sorry. We are actively working to provide all customers with lead times less than 2 weeks prior to 3/31/2024. This initiative has been in place since April of 2023. It's not working. You just said most of 2023 you had terrible lead times. Yet you're saying in the 4th month of that year, you started this initiative that's going to fix everything. As a growing business, it has always been a challenge to deal with scale. I mean, not really. It shouldn't be. You just scale like you do with a business that is growing. Thousands upon thousands of growing businesses have done that. That's why they're still around. Because their eyes aren't bigger than their stomachs. They don't just keep taking money when they're backlogged on orders and then just not answer calls. Send basic generic emails saying we're waiting on parts to anyone who emails asking about questions. Because the number of times I've seen that in comments as a response, as a canned response, it's got to be automatic. There's something about it. It must be automatic. And we are adjusting with every month that goes by to adjust to our new order volume. The new order volume needs to be 0 until you're completely caught up. 0. Nothing. You shouldn't be able to take orders until you can fulfill orders. We would also like to address a pricing concern as well as our sales. So here was my pricing concern. As far as I could tell, every time I went to their site, they had this on there, okay? Over a period of a few months. It's 25% off. After you would take that 25% off on most of their pricing, looking at the specs versus the pricing, it would be 2.5, maybe 3 times the price of a PC part picker list of those same components after the 25% off. Do you want to know how crazy this is? Most SIs that I know of don't even get 25% profit margin on their PCs. Yet these guys have so much bloated profit margin because they're overpricing everything so much that they can afford to take 25% off. Gone. So my complaint was, hey, don't do that. Just have fair pricing and offer discount codes or something. That's what so many of these companies do. This year, we ran a holiday sale that was scheduled to last from November 7th to February 14th. Can any of y'all explain which holiday that would be? Like, what about the times between Valentine's Day and New Year's Day? Most holiday sales would be like, if it's Christmas or something, it'll be the month of or 2 weeks ahead or whatever. But Valentine's Day is a weekend sale. In 2023, there were several periods where no sale was active, or a 5, 10%, or 15% sale was active. So what that means is there are plenty of people out there who paid those extremely bloated prices without that 25% off cushion. And Apex knows of this, has records of all of those customers. Clearly, there's something they could do there. We have addressed that concern by removing any and all sales and discount codes and adjusting prices accordingly. What happens to those customers that you swindled before? Too bad, so sad, you keep the money? Now, finally, to any and all of our customers who do not feel they were fairly treated, we will be reaching out. This is the cherry on top, okay? We will be reaching out via YouTube to gather more information and to assist you in any way possible to ensure that your experience ends up being satisfactory. Under no circumstances do we wish to leave any customer unhappy. There's another lie right there, because there's nothing mentioned here of the people who paid bloated prices, which once they say they adjust prices accordingly, okay, that means that their non-discounted prices were admittedly bloated prices. So if they, under no circumstances do they wish to leave any customer unhappy, they need to refund whatever price adjustments they made. Whatever price adjustments were made after my video was released and the sales were removed, that needs to be refunded to every customer who paid full price. Every one of them. And should you just wait for them to comment on a YouTube video? No, there's no way that all of the people that Apex took advantage of are going to see my video. It'd be nice. Share the video around. Who knows? Because that might be the only way for them to get their money back. Now, I do think that they deleted this comment. That's why it's not showing up under the YouTube video. I did do something about that, by the way. If you would like to respond to that comment, for posterity's sake, and because I had it in my dashboard, I wasn't sure if it had gotten deleted. I thought maybe it was a mistake. So I went ahead and copied and pasted that whole comment in a pinned comment on that video. You can go ahead and go give them your response there. Just to, I don't want all this work. There's a lot of typing, okay? Their fingies are probably very tired after all this typing. And their imaginations, exhausted after making up a whole bunch of stuff in here. I mean, there were some honest admissions having terrible lead times throughout 2022 and 2023, right? No, there's no qualifier there. There are a few measures they've taken. They have lowered their prices, and we'll talk about that briefly. They didn't really change some of the things that were really kind of not great about their PCs. Like some of their default specs on the ones where you can customize them. Not everyone's gonna catch this stuff, okay? And they're gonna get a PC that has some pretty gnarly bottlenecks. Let's give you an example, okay? Let's see, the Apex Streamer. Yeah, that gets 16 gigs of RAM. When people come in and ask me, hey, I want to get into streaming, what do I need? Well, one of the first things I'll tell them is, look, you're going to be running whatever game you're going to be playing, or whatever you're going to be doing. You're going to be running OBS, right? You're going to be running Spotify, Discord, browser windows for your walkthrough. You got hidden on the side. All of those things, you need RAM. You need 32 gigs of RAM. All right. Helps to have a few extra cores. Cool. Also going NVIDIA. See, they have NVIDIA here. That makes sense, right? One thing I do want to note, by the way, this has an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4060 by default here. You can customize it to change that, but not everyone's going to do that. You see, they went ahead and saved you the trouble of customizing your PC by putting an add to cart button directly right here. This is why system integrators have to be careful with default specs, okay? Now, this thing has a different price than what we saw. It's $1529 as spec'd out here. Great. That's cool. I guess they didn't change it on the previous. It looked like, I thought it was like $1899. But this has an RTX 4060. And if we look here, the minimum power supply wattage recommendation for that is 550 watts. What they put in there by default, for some reason, it's either a 450 watt or a 500 watt. So if you just added this to cart, which is an option, it's right there, you're underpowering your system, at least by the recommendations of the GPU manufacturer. I know that you can probably run this system at 450 or 500 with a 500 watt power supply. Sure. Transient power spikes aren't quite what they used to be with like 30 series high-end cards. Sure. Apex, that does not matter. I don't care if you've tested this. I doubt that you've tested this. If I'm going to criticize Main Gear for the same thing, you're definitely subject to it too. Okay. Main Gear's at least proven themselves in many other ways. It is the job of a system integrator to understand the requirements for the hardware, compatibility, intercompatibility, all of that, airflow, thermals, okay? Basic performance. If you're making a gaming PC, it needs to be able to game. If you're making a PC for streaming, it needs to be able to stream. That is the trust your customer puts in you. Now, let's look at some of the other things here that are just terrible in this $1,529 system, okay? Now, 5800X is a nice CPU. It is. I ran on a 5800X for a while. I gamed, I streamed, I did all of that. I definitely did not put it into an M-ATX motherboard, especially not in a full ATX case, because that looks terrible. You have this big empty gap at the bottom, and you lose some of the expandability that a streamer is going to need for an internal capture card. Genius. Now, thankfully, you put product appearance will vary based on selected options, right? I'm glad you did that. I appreciate that you did that. I did harp on y'all in that video 9 months ago on that, especially when you put up here ships in 48 hours, when it was actually a $150 added additional option in the configuration thing. That was supreme bait and switch. God, that was awful. But what about the fact that this has half of the RAM that it should for a streaming PC? What about the fact that it comes with a 512 gig M.2 drive in a $1,500 system? You have two M.2 sockets. There you go. So this system can only hold 2 M.2 drives. This is the fastest kind of storage for a consumer desktop computer. That's what you want for your stuff to be on, okay? That motherboard can only accommodate 2 of those, and you've taken up the primary boot drive, with a 512 gig drive for a system that is over $1,500. That's just one system. Did you see how long I was able to harp on just one system? Let's see this one right here. Apex Silver. What are the defaults here? Okay. Now remember, these at least have the benefit of you being able to upgrade them. Okay. This one is $1179. Okay. Intel Arc A750. That's a good card now. It wasn't when it first came out, but it is now. Okay. Well, it looks like their power supply recommendation is on your average system, we recommend a 500 watt power supply unit for the Intel Arc A750. This says you're going to get either a 450 watt or 500 watt. So 50-50 chance you're meeting the bare minimum. Good luck. Look, they actually they stock, this is ridiculous. They stock 256 gig M.2 drives. Why are these even manufactured anymore? No idea, but hey, you can downgrade to that for $0 because why wouldn't you? It needs to start here. 1 terabyte should be the minimum. Just games are getting huge, okay? If you have any reason whatsoever to have your price be a little bit higher, actually not under-speccing the default spec for your PCs would be a great start. It's so many, just every page I look at is just bad. It's just in the roots. It's in the roots of the company. You guys just need to like start from scratch and just care about doing it well. It sucks, okay? Like, I know that whether the executives there, whether the leadership at Apex Gaming PCs cares or not, whether they care or not, there are other employees that care about their jobs, okay? The builders. I had a builder that used to work for y'all reach out and say, I miss building PCs all day. I don't miss the pressure that I was under. I don't miss not having AC in the warehouse we built in while the executives had AC in their offices. That sucked. I don't miss being paid, having incentives to build as fast as humanly possible and get as many builds done as possible. I don't miss that. But I miss building PCs all the time. I had several former employees reach out to me after the video last month. It's not good. It's not ideal working conditions. It's not. It's the same thing as light. The same thing as light gaming PCs. The leadership driving around in fancy cars, just enjoying life, whatever. And the workers suffering. And if this shuts down like light did, because this is very similar stuff going on here, okay? And then they lose their jobs. That's the end of that story. That sucks. I don't want that to happen. I just want you guys to just join the rest of the industry in not being terrible. That's what I was saying earlier. They just cheap out everywhere they can to stack profit margin as much as possible. I don't know why they're making such an effort. All they need to do is make up prices as high as they want. That's what they do otherwise. Look at this thing. This is a $3,900 PC that if you add it to your cart, just go add to cart, right? Because it's got to be like that, right? That's what I'm getting. I'm getting a Asus ROG Strix card. Oh, wow. No, dude. Okay. Look, you're getting 16 gigs of DDR5. You're getting an Asus Z790 Tough motherboard. Apparently not the Wi-Fi version. And you're getting 512 gigs of storage in a nearly $4,000 computer. That means if you go and try to put a reasonable amount of storage in this, the price goes up. That 14700KF, getting a 240 millimeter AIO, that's it's cutting it a little close. And just get the F out of there, okay? Get the full-on CPU for your top-of-the-line system. You can't even customize it. They can't even choose because you can't even be bothered to buy trays of non-F Intel CPUs. And this, like, have you downloaded a game in the last 3 years? Most SIs are made up of people who are builders, and they have to take themselves out of their own mindset to cater to non-builders, okay? So you have to imagine that the vast majority of people buying pre-builts have zero interest in ever opening it up, and that is totally fine. That's okay. It's theirs. It's their thing. It should be a complete product that stays with the growing needs of the consumer. And as game studios fail to optimize their storage requirements, Activision, you need to accommodate that for the consumer. If your prices go up a bit, fine, but your prices should not go up. Absolutely not at the terrible spec I see here. This should be 14900K 4090. And if you look at the ready to ship systems, okay, where you can't change anything, of course, it's all F-SKU processors, F-SKU, or previous gen where you don't really have much of an upgrade path. Okay, cool. F12600KF, another 5800X, 14600KF, 14700KF. It's just bad. Like, forget the bait and switch stuff. Forget the fact that you can't bring yourself to ship a PC on time. Okay, forget about that. Like, for now, don't forget about it, please. You need to remember that every day. In the morning you wake up, you think about the fact that you can't ship a PC on time. Please prioritize that. Okay, you have people's money. You're not willing to give it back to them. Give them what they paid for. Cool. Now, aside from all that, you guys cannot spec PCs and price them properly to save your lives. You can't do it. Now, let's go to the main page here. Okay, we're almost done. And when I say done, I really hope I mean actually done. I don't want to talk about these guys again. They're just gonna sidestep into some other BS. Anyways, what's something that really sticks out here? What is something that truly sticks out here? Lifetime parts and labor warranty. That was not a policy before. That did not exist before. This is desperate. This is desperation. Okay? You want to know how I determined that this is a last second addition here? You want to know how I know that? Well, I'll show you. Let's go here and click there. There's some pretty good writing on this site. Like, they get very poetic. However, I wouldn't say it's poetic to say we offer a lifetime labor warranty parts warranty, ensuring your PC performs optimally. A lifetime labor warranty parts warranty. Are you sure about that? This was like someone was punching their keyboard, full on just open-handed slaps to get this put up there as soon as possible. That's what that is, okay? But it is actually the saddest thing I've ever seen, and I'll tell you why. Not for Apex, okay? Yes, for any employees at Apex that care, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry that you've been dealing with this. Like, you've been working at that company and caring. Like, I genuinely, I've worked for companies that I cared about, but they didn't care about me. That sucks, and I hate to see anyone else dealing with that. But sometimes you'd rather deal with that than have to look for another job. And I don't want Apex shut. I don't want anybody shutting down. I want it to be better. I want it to be fixed. But look, we got to talk about this. It is not front and center. You got to dig for this. So I'm not sure exactly how it's supposed to be helpful for the average browsing person here that maybe bought a PC before. Maybe they got an email. I don't know. But this is their 2022 and 2023 order notice. Okay. Dear Apex Gaming PCs community, at Apex Gaming PCs, we pride ourselves on our commitment to customer satisfaction and our passion for delivering top-tier gaming experiences. We are writing to address an important matter concerning the delivery timelines of our products over the past 2 years. We acknowledge that several orders placed in 2022 and 2023 were delivered beyond our anticipated lead times. Oh boy, what an understatement. Like, in their own message, they just said, we understand that our order lead times have been terrible for most of 2022 and 2023. A much more straightforward statement, no caveats, no corporate talk, none of that. Just like, hey, we weren't shipping PCs on time for 2 years. Hi, we're Apex Gaming PCs. We understand the excitement and anticipation that comes with waiting for your custom gaming PC, and we sincerely apologize for any inconvenience these delays may have caused. In our at least they sincerely apologize, but I'm sure there's going to be some kind of some kind of payback, some kind of credit, some kind of monetary thing, right? Especially for those people who paid full price at the bloated price whenever that 25% discount wasn't happening. In our continuous effort to make things right and to show our appreciation for your patience and loyalty, we are excited to announce that we will be extending the warranty period for all orders placed in 2022 and 2023 from 1 year to 3 years. Oh my God. Of all the half-assed measures they could have made, Apex, dear. In order for a warranty to be valuable, you need to fulfill it. You need to respond to your customers. Do you know how many comments I've gotten saying that there is zero customer service and tech support? Now, make changes, fix that, but understand that you're offering this to people who've been dealing with that for 2 years. It's not quite the balm that you think it is that will soothe the soul. No. This extension is our way of providing peace of mind and ensuring your gaming experience is worry-free for even longer. If you purchase an extended warranty, an additional 2 years will be added to that warranty. No action is required, and this extension will be automatically applied to all orders. Please do not talk to us. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, hey, Bray, didn't there be a little bright red banner across the top of the website that said lifetime parts and labor warranty? That's silly. What's the deal with that? Why are they turning around and saying, look, we'll make everything better by extending your warranty, but new customers, they haven't given us money yet. We still got to get their money. So we're going to give them lifetime warranty. That's really nice of us, right? Why are you crying? I can't believe this. Like, the lack of self-awareness here, or maybe horrifically cruel sense of humor. You can see it on the same page. It's right there in one page, on this same page with zero scrolling. You can read both lifetime parts and labor warranty at the top, and then extending your warranty period from 1 year to 3 years. Like, there's times where, like, I can understand missing a little detail here and there. Okay? This is supposed to be your promise to the people who you made wait for months and months. This is your answer to them? Not refunding them for the price difference that you then reduced now, that they paid in full back then, not taking that 25% and giving it to them? No, nothing like that? No, that's too hard, right? The people who were like, man, I got parts that I didn't order. Like, I thought I was getting a brand name power supply. I thought I was getting brand name this, brand name that. They sent me something I didn't choose from the configurator. They sent me different parts. What are you going to do for them? You going to wait till they comment on YouTube? That's what you said. You said in your grand plan, which you then deleted, we'll be reaching out via YouTube. That means if people don't see this video or your message that you buried in your website at the very bottom under more info, right? If they don't see that, they're not going to know. You're just tossing them aside. They don't know that. They won't know that. Unless they're actively complaining, you don't care, because complaining affects your reputation. Apparently, Apex wants you to complain loudly. They're encouraging you to do so by saying, unless you do so, get bent. We're not doing anything for you. So, indulge them. Complain loudly and everywhere you can. Every social media platform. Don't stick to just YouTube. Why would you? There's so many choices. Better Business Bureau? Better get writing. Every option you got. Google reviews. Everybody uses Google. I think it's time maybe people told their stories. Now listen up though. If you're watching this video and you're as salty as I am, but you didn't order from Apex and have a bad experience, do not pollute comments, complaints, any of those things, reviews, with just saying, yeah, I saw this video where this guy said they suck. Don't do that, okay? Allow the people who have actually been just taken advantage of by this company to share their stories, because their stories should be heard. If you saw the video last month, you saw me walking around the streets of Vegas, the most appropriate place to talk about Apex Gaming PCs I could think of. And I could not, I was losing it. I was just also out of breath. I don't walk a lot, all right? This is my job now, is to sit down. Every one of those comments I read was like as if you'd taken a member of my community and just taken everything away from them that made them happy. Like, I care about my community. I care about my community members, and thinking that any one of them could have fallen prey to this is upsetting in a very visceral way. I'm going to be watching. I told you, Apex. I told you I'm fixated on you. And this is what you did. On one page, you can read how your new customers are more important than your old customers, because new ones, to entice them to get lifetime warranty. Old customers, yeah, I'll give them a couple extra years of our terrible warranty and terrible service, where people will directly comment that we don't respond. We give canned email responses to. We don't call back. We don't help. A couple more years of that, they'll be fine. That's what they want, probably. By the way, guys, if you ordered from Apex Gaming PCs and you're just seeing this right now, I'm not going to give you any financial advice. This is not financial advice. This is not me telling you that you should go to your credit card company and like do a chargeback. I'm not telling you that, okay? I wouldn't do that. That would be irresponsible of me. Besides, if you did that, they would probably just like ship out the PC immediately, because what happens is when it arrives, you sign for it because you're excited, and then you're like, wait, but I don't like it. I wanted to return it. I heard that they do all these other things, and guess what? Your chargeback gets denied, right? So don't go do a chargeback, because then you would have to remember that if they ship you a PC, you have to refuse the delivery. I'm not trying to give that kind of advice here, because that would be very irresponsible of me. And it could cause, it could cause issues, because a company like Apex is probably going to fight those tooth and nail. And they have methods of doing that, like just shipping you something and then you sign off on it, right? And then they get their money. And so yeah, I'm not going to recommend that to you, okay? Do you think that worked? Anyway, okay, they're claiming here that their same-day ship PCs are shipping on schedule, meaning they must have hundreds of them, because if 100 people ordered one of them, like a specific model, before 11 a.m., they could ship all of those out by the end of that day. Impressive, Apex, very impressive. And they also state right here that if you're a customer from 2022 who had the 1-year warranty and your warranty went out, and then you had to have work done and you paid them for it, they're actually going to reach out and to affected customers and try to refund that amount. That is cool. That kind of thinking needs to go across the board. The entire website needs that treatment, okay? But this tells me you have all of the records that you need to take care of every customer you've taken advantage of, including the ones that paid full price with your little 25% off. Because guess what, guys? They're claiming that they got rid of their 25% off discount, right? And I was lauding them for this. I was very happy to see that they made such a drastic change. Drop the prices, get rid of the ridiculous discounts, sell things like a company does. And when I was going over this and showing chat that like, hey, no, let's see what they've actually done, because maybe they did something good. They listened up this time. I want you to see what happened when I was going to navigate away from their page. Now they're slashing prices because there's a lot of attention on them now. I mean, look, you guys have to remember something, right? So this video Oh, look, I went to go look at another tab and they're like, hey, now they're doing the 25% off. Oh my God, Apex, really? Y'all hid this? You hid this so hard. Oh my God, we busted you. Oh, look at that. I went to go to another tab to show you guys something and they were hiding this away. You're still doing it. There is like how am I supposed to take you guys seriously at all after that? Like, you have a chance here to freaking do better. I could have just completely written it off. You've written you guys off and been like, I'm done. But no, I'm like doing my job, okay? But look, there it goes. Still 25% off. They just can't put down the bludgeon. They cannot, like, you just can't legitimately sell anything, can you? Every time I try even just cautious optimism, Apex just delivers a punch in the gut. I was like, look, guys, they did it. They're actually changing things. Credit where credit is due. It's no longer due, okay? Because this is one of the worst things that you guys do, and you just cannot, this all a facade. All the changes you're making, zero credit. How could they think that they could slip that by unnoticed? Because of course I'm gonna go to another tab at some point. I just want people to do good things. I want consumers to have a good experience. I want them to be able to see things they can actually buy, and I want them to get those things at a fair price and be supported afterwards. It's really not that difficult, Apex. It is not that difficult, okay? It is a hard industry, but no harder than it is for anybody else, and they are succeeding. When you realize that someone's just maybe not gonna buy from you, you still got that little ace up your sleeve. Last minute, you're just like, listen, this worked for us for a long time. Bray won't notice. No one will notice that we're still pushing a 25% discount, even though we specifically stated that that was removed. I don't know if that's random. I don't know if it'll happen for everybody. It's probably a randomized thing just to catch someone who's been browsing for a while or something. I don't know. What I do know is that I have been given zero reasons to trust any of the words coming from Apex. Apex, if you want to make things right, okay, I'll work with you on that. I don't want your employees to be jobless, okay? I don't care about the C-suite over there. I don't care about that. You guys have done a stellar job up to this point. I'm sure you're fine. Show me the records, show me the lists. I'll help you go through them so you have accountability. So you actually take care of this. So you actually refund the people money that you took and hoarded and in the middle of a worldwide recession. Very cool of you, Apex. So proud of you for doing that. I just would not trust your word otherwise, unless I'm involved myself. There has to be transparency and accountability. Okay? If you ever want to hope to live up to the name you've given yourself, you got a lot of work to do. All right. Catch you guys on stream Tuesdays and Thursdays. Take care.